Welcome, my dear students, to my class. Today we will continue with the chapter 3 Institutional Representation of Democracy. In previous day we have discussed the democratic government mainly and its organ different levels, and mainly the one important aspect, universal adult franchise. In previous class, we have discussed about universal adult franchise. Means in modern democratic governments, all men and women who have attained a minimum prescribed age are allowed to vote and elect their representatives. All Indian citizens who have attained the age of 18 years have the right to vote. So the question is, so we can start our session with this question. Have all the adult citizens have given the right to vote? Obviously no. Criminals, person of unsound mind and those declared bankrupt are not allowed to vote. सो क्रिमिनल जो मेंटली डिसेबल है, ओके, एंड जो बैंकरप्ट आई नो दिवालिया आप हिंदी में बोलते हो, जो पैसा लिया था बैंक से वो अगर अनेबल हो देने के लिए, तो इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं बैंकरप्ट. तो दिस पीपल्स आर नॉट अलाउड टू वोट. Our next topic is elections. So elections have a great significance in the formation of modern representative governments. An election is a contest between various political parties for getting their representatives elected with the intention to form the government. तो इलेक्शन मीनिंग है बहुत सारे पार्टी के बीच एक कंपटीशन. जो जीतेगा ऑब्वियसली वो क्या करेगा, गवर्नमेंट बनाएगा. Elections take place periodically in all democracies. In India, elections take place once in every 5 years. Indian citizens choose representatives to the parliament and state legislature. The first general elections were held in 1951. Remember, my children, this information is not in your book, only for your reference. Remember it. Why are elections considered essential for any representative democracy? Because the voters have the freedom to choose their representative. They can choose who will make laws for them, who will form the government and take major decisions on their behalf. The political party whose policies will guide the government and make laws for the welfare of our people. ओके, सो द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट मेक्स एन इलेक्शन डेमोक्रेटिक. सारे जो इलेक्शन है ये डेमोक्रेटिक है या डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसीड्योर पे फॉलो किया जाता है. सो एवरीवन इज एबल टू चूज. दैट मीन्स एवरीवन हैज़ वन वोट एंड एवरी वोट हैज़ इक्वल वैल्यू. एन इम्पॉर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल ऑफ अडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज, ऑलरेडी वी नो दैट, इज इट ना, वन पर्सन वन वोट एंड दिस वोट इज हैविंग वन वैल्यू. Now we are going to talk about the election process. For the purpose of elections, the country is divided into different divisions called constituencies. Election held for the formation of government at the center are called Lok Sabha elections. At the state level, elections are conducted to elect representative to the state legislative assemblies. At the local level, people elect the panchayat members in villages and municipal councillors in towns and cities. So regarding the context, the question is, what are electoral constituencies? In our country, we follow an area-based system of representation. The country is divided into different areas for the purpose of election, and these geographical units are called as electoral constituencies. You know, student, we have a system of reserved constituencies also. So the question is, what are reserved constituencies and why was the system introduced in India? The constitution makers made the provision for reserved constituencies for members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in India. Why? Because the economically weaker section of the society may not have the required resources, education, contact to contest and win elections against others. Currently, out of 552 seats in Lok Sabha, 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and 41 for scheduled tribes. The election process is conducted and supervised by an independent body called the Election Commission. The head of the election commission is called as the Chief Election Commissioner. The election commission is fixed and announces the dates of election and ensures that elections are held peacefully. The commission prepares a voter list which contains the names of all those adult citizens of our country who are eligible to vote. A system of photo identity card has been introduced where the citizens are issued an identity card containing their photographs by the election commission, which they have to produce at the polling booth. From this context, we are having another question. Is voter list is called as electoral list or electoral list also known as voter list? Obviously, yes. So, in a democratic election, the list of those who are eligible to vote is prepared much before the election and given to everyone. And this list is officially called the electoral roll and is commonly known as voters list. Another question is, what is polling booth? A polling booth is a place where people cast their votes to the candidate of their choice and elect their future government. Then what is the next step? The political parties choose their candidates who file the nomination papers. Independent candidates who do not belong to any political party also file their nomination papers. After the nominations have been filed, the nomination papers go through the scrutiny stages. An independent checking is done to verify whatever the information provided by the candidate is correct or not. सो ये स्टेज पे क्या होता है, डिफरेंट पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ के जो लीडर है वो नॉमिनेशन पेपर फिल करते हैं. नॉट ओनली डिफरेंट पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के जो लीडर, कोई भी इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स जो कोई भी पार्टी से बिलोंग भी नहीं करता है वो भी नॉमिनेशन पेपर फिल कर सकता है. इसके बाद क्या होता है, ये जो सारे नॉमिनेशन पेपर्स है ये स्क्रूटिनी चेकिंग पे जाता है. सो व्हाट इज स्क्रूटिनी चेकिंग? के जो लीडर्स या कोई भी इंडिविजुअल कैंडिडेट जो इलेक्शन कंटेस्ट कर रहा है उसका इंफॉर्मेशन सही है या नहीं, ये स्क्रूटिनी चेकिंग पे देखा जाता है. द नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे देखा जाता है, जब स्क्रूटिनी इज़ ओवर द कैंडिडेट्स आर गिवन ए डेट for withdrawing their names. Once the withdrawal date is over, campaigning begins. Campaigning is done through meetings, speeches, and display of banners. The candidates appeal to the voters on the basis of the principles that candidates believe in, and also with promises to implement certain programs if elected. This could be promise of free education or lowering of food prices. This is called as the manifesto. So each candidate has an election symbols which signifies the political party he or she belongs to. People who cannot read can identify the candidate by the symbol. Independent candidates have symbols which are approved by the election commission. The question is, what do you mean by election manifesto? So an election manifesto is a statement by a political party explaining its policies, saying what they will do if they win the election. Means एक declaration है political party के कि वो अगर जीतता है तो वो क्या क्या करने वाले हैं nation के लिए. And the next question is, what is election campaign? In our country, election campaign take place for 2 weeks period between announcement of the final list of candidates and the date of polling, means the voting day is called as the polling day. So during this period, the candidate contact their voters, political leaders address election meetings, and political parties mobilize their supporters, or they obviously address any kind of rallies. This is also the period when newspapers and television newses are full of election related stories, debates and discussions. So that means in election campaigns, political parties try to focus public attention on the certain big issues. They want to attract the public to those issues and get them to vote for their party. Means simply campaigning of election means advertisement of particular parties. Each candidate has an election symbol which signifies the political party he or she belongs to. People who cannot read can identify the candidate by symbol. Independent candidates have symbols which are approved by the election commissions. So, dear children, remember manifesto, campaigning, and symbols are very important for election. Election manifestos are important because they also inform voters about the views of each political party or the independent candidates or major national and international issues. An intelligent voter can judge the parties or candidates by it. Campaigning stops 48 hours before the polling date. So, my dear children, that's the end for today's session. We will meet in our next class with new topics. Till then, bye. Take a very good care of yourself and happy learning.